Welcome friends to day 3. I hope you have completed all the videos till yesterday and completed all the tasks and continuing the challenge. So congratulations, you have completed 2 days. So let's begin with day 3. So in day 3 we will understand the problem. So this is not a problem which can be cured by medicine, or you just take the medicine and get rid of it. So it's a very different kind of things which required a lot of willpower and uh, effort to get rid of it. So let's understand. So first we will discuss about the human. So human can be like broadly you can say it's as the consistent of two, body and life. So body you already know. So whatever the biological things. So let's just discuss about the life. So life is nothing you can say the conscious. So conscious has the two like various activities, but here we are discussing three activities in which we discuss about the two activities which is give you the overview how the any habit is formed and how the things getting around these things. So one is the selection and another is test. So selection is what is, so for any kind of action we just select something and we choose that thing, and according to the things which we have chosen we take the decision, or we have some like images, or we have imagination according to do we perform some task. So action is lead test, means for any action we have some test, means you can say like some benefit or pleasure. So for that pleasure we choose something, and by choosing something we get something. So and whatever we have chosen for, so for that thing we have some images, or we have some imagination, on the basis of some images picture we select that thing and we get some output. So our selection is done on three things. One is called like, interest and profit, means whatever the things we have priya hit love which is called. So according to the like, dislike, interest, non-interest and profit and loss, according to that we select something which lead some taste or some pleasure. And this three thing of the process of selection is done by the fourth thing, which is the fourth subject, you can say food, sleep, fear and sex. So according to this we select something and we take a taste of that thing. So this is not the ultimate food, sleep, sex. This is around when we are not awake, means we are not fully conscious you can say. So we have like get some taste of something, then for this taste we have some imagination or we have some thought. So this thought is converted into action, and this action is done with the help of some trigger, means we get some trigger and we get into the habit, and due to the action trigger habit we get some reward. So that reward is not like permanent, this is called instant gratification. For the instant pleasure we perform some task and we get some reward. So this is just become a cycle, become a loop. So we get into the habit because of we selecting something and we get taste on the basis of some interest or some like on the basis of food, sleep, fear or sex. So it become a habit, and whenever we get some trigger on the basis of location, time, emotion, a state of preceding action or something, we get some instant gratification, and it become like a infinite, it just revolving around us and keep going. So but when we realize that this is not the ultimate thing we have to do, we have like some goal, something to do, and now we try to quit. So it became right now a habit and a stop getting hampered whichever we want to do. So then you realize we should to quit anyhow, and now the thing is begin. So now you get to know this thing should I not perform, or no I'm getting addiction so I should to quit, but till then your body get habituated of this thing. due to the like obsessive of the biological chemicals or whatever the things happening inside the body. Before it's like happening in your mind like a virtual thing, but now it's become reality. So you want to quit, but now you are unable to quit this thing. So how it goes, we will discuss. So first in our mind we get a strong images, like we discuss about this topic. So whenever we watch porn, so we get the images, we get the around that, and it impress so hard to our mind, so it we can't replace that thing, and every time it just revolving that kind of image, and that image lead to that kind of thought. So that type of thought, like again and again do it that thing, so it's become habit, as we discuss in that cycle. So the habit is curiosity for sex and porn, so which lead to trigger something by which of our emotion or some places where gives the things. And now for that trigger we get the urges, and due to that urges, due to the hormone which is called testosterone, which leads to like become like arousal, and we get horny and we finally masturbate. And then due to the masturbation we get a dopamine blast, means there is a certain a spike of dopamine which leads to our like the receptors in functioning less, means we have very less receptor which get our mind into autopilot, which is called reptilian cortex, which is responsible for the things which is essential for survival instinct, like for the sex, or we get the short pleasures. So our mind fully get into the reptilian cortex, and that part of mind is disconnected with the neurocortex and limbic brain. So the neocortex ultimately control all the limbic or reptilian part, but right now due to the sudden blast of dopamine, we our mind get into reptilian mode, and it is just cut off from that two part of our brain. And after the masturbation we realize ki what we have done, and we are in guilt. So again our neocortex just try to think the things, and we get regretted. So how our limbic system is responsible for the like emotion or some pleasure things. So in limbic system it a work as a reward circuit which is fueled by dopamine. So reward circuit you can consider as an engine, then dopamine is a petrol, and it works together. And due to this cycle we get the instant gratification. So whenever get instant gratification, reward circuit is completed, again dopamine is released, and then we get some trigger and finally watch the porn, and then finally come to the action called say masturbation. And again due to the masturbation we get a dopamine a spike and dopamine blast, and which leads to our body get addicted to dopamine, which works like petrol. So far dopamine a spike, do you keep surfing the internet to get higher amplitude of dopamine? I started the porn mining day and night, means whenever you are watching or whenever you are alone or whatever the time you are just thinking, and get like more to more arousal or more to more, so you can get more dopamine, and all energy and productivity you have spent on the curiosity upon this, and this become like a blackout to you. So this is the whole scenario by which you can get into this addiction. So I hope you have get the overview how anyone can get into some addiction, how this porn is like in a loop. So you have to must break the loop. So in further video we can discuss in very elaborately how can you get rid of it. And so till now this is the it. So let's combat this life changing habit, and together we will overcome this problem. So see you tomorrow. Thank you.